If you could sit down with a creator who's feeling stuck right now, or maybe they're just overwhelmed or they think it's too late to start something, what's one piece of advice you'd want them to hear today?
So if anybody is feeling like, wow, this isn't working, just try something different and be okay to fail and be okay to do it afraid, because most people aren't going to even do it. It's not too late to start over. Just keep going, because again, most people are going to stop. So as long as you're consistent, you'll always be ahead of everybody else.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Call Her Creator. Today's guest, I'm so excited to talk to because I was reading through everything about her. I stalk my guests before conversations. I'm like, oh my God, we have so much in common. She has been helping creators and entrepreneurs navigate social media long before being a creator was even considered a career. So Michelle Thames is a content creator, a marketing strategist, podcast host, and the founder of Social Media Decoded, where she teaches creators how to build sustainable businesses that don't rely on chasing every algorithm change. And I know you guys are hearing in the background, I know I hear clapping because everyone's so sick of having to run after trends. And Michelle, I can't wait to talk to you about this because I feel like that's all our algorithm is anymore. But today we're going to talk about what it really takes to build a creator business that lasts. From creating multiple revenue streams and growing a podcast to building a personal brand that opens doors long after the post stops getting likes. Michelle, welcome to Call Her Creator. I am so excited you're here.
Yes, I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Caitlin.
Yes. So did you agree with me when I was talking about how it's like one person posts one thing these days and then it just goes off and like my feed is filled, which I'm a trendy girly and I like them, but dang, that's all I've seen lately.
Yeah, I can't keep up. I cannot keep up. It's a lot of trends. I agree with you.
It's a lot of trends. So before we get into all of that, I want you to give the cliff notes of who you really are and like how you got to where you're at now. Like give us the background information. So we'll start there.
So yeah, I am the average girl, right? I went to school, got a job. They say I'm a millennial. Okay, so I'm definitely a millennial through and through. Went to college, got the job, worked in healthcare, and got fired. And at the time, I was blogging back when Blogger, I'm sure you remember that platform, was
Yes.
a thing. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to start this blog. I'm going to start YouTube. And so I started as a lifestyle influencer doing my hair on YouTube and like working with different brands. And I'm like, I got fired. I'm like, let me lean into my passions and see if I can really just do this. And so I ended up doing that, ended up getting a job working for a startup beauty brand to help them with their social media. So I got even more experience. And then I left in 2019 to start my own digital marketing agency and just really go all in on my personal brand. So, I mean, being fired really pushed me to really test out and try out social media and just leverage different platforms. And so it's been a wild ride, and we're in 2026 and it's much different than 2009 when things were like really easy.
I can't believe you came from healthcare to social media. Like I feel like that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it was pretty
How
cool.
how did you get your first social media gig? You said with a startup, but how did you get that? Like did you know them? Where did you apply online?
Visibility on social media and relationships. So the owner, we had met before and, just had lunch one time and just was really trying to figure out how we could work with one another. And then she needed somebody to do her social media because when you start to grow a business, right, you're like, oh my gosh, this social media thing, this is taking off and I need someone. And she's like, well, I've seen what you did with your own brand online. Could you come and help us? And so I took the challenge. I really, to be honest, I had no clue what I was getting myself into, but it actually really helped me to learn multiple platforms, email marketing, influencers, events, trade shows, like running e-commerce business, like just a lot of different things. And so I think that was pretty cool. And I helped them grow. And so that's really cool to just be able to work with the startup beauty brand. They ended up being purchased by Procter and Gamble a larger company. And so now they're like, yeah, they're a household name. They work with the WNBA, lots of different brands. And so it's just really cool.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay. Visibility, though. People, some people might be like, what is she talking about visibility? So when you talk about visibility, what are you talking about? Were you on every platform? How many times a week were you posting? Like, let's get nitty gritty about your quote unquote visibility.
Back then, no. Like, back then, it was just posting blogs, posting YouTube videos, showing up at events. There wasn't Instagram stories, there wasn't Reels back then, so it was just strictly and SEO, really showing up in SEO, like on Pinterest, that was visibility back then. And I'm sure we're gonna talk about visibility today. It looks much different than something easy like that. You could on Instagram back in when it started, you were able to easily be found. You were easily able to be reposted on other bigger pages that had trust of other people to then follow you. It doesn't work like that anymore. It's such a different like visibility platform in a way. And so that was visibility back then that got me the opportunity to work with a brand like that, but visibility today is very different.
Wow, I love that. And I'm super big fan of visibility too. That's how I built my business as well. And I started posting on Instagram 2021, and that's when Reels had came out. So you were posting before the Reels came out, which okay, if I look back when I started my Instagram in 2015, which was before Reels too. But I was posting like quotes all the time, like boss babe energy. And I also had a blog at the time too. So it's just funny, like our stories are so similar in a way. And I remember what was it called? Blogger.
Yeah, blogger.
So Michelle, when was the moment when you were posting for visibility and you're like, holy crap, wait, maybe this could be an actual job for me? Like, was there an aha moment for you?
Yeah, I think early on when other people like the brand asked me, could I do this for someone else? I'm like, oh, okay. So this is actually a thing that or a career that you can go into or you can build a personal brand as yourself and work with brands. And so I think back then that was the aha moment. And just even more recently, I've had more aha moments. I now have niched down to become a super hyper local content creator in my area and have gained like millions. And it's crazy, Caitlin, millions of like views on Facebook and Instagram. And it's just like really cool. So the evolution of kind of like visibility and my thoughts around it has really changed and just how I approach it. And so now I think I'm even more targeted and niche in how I think about showing up online. But I hope that answers your question. It's like it's very different to how I think about visibility.
Yeah, okay, super hyper local creator. I think it honestly anyone
Yes.
could be this if they wanted to. So walk us through what that actually means because there's some of us out here listening that they don't even know what that means. But tell them what it means and how they could actually like for me and you, I'm like, "Oh, that could be so easy. You could be the go-to person in your town doing all the things." So walk us through yes, girl, walk us through what that looks like exactly and what you're doing.
Yes, exactly what you said, being the go-to creator. So I am from Chicago, but a smaller area outside of Chicago called the South Suburbs of Chicago, which is made up of like 46 cities. And so everyone always says they're from Chicago, but I'm actually from a town called Richton Park, Illinois. And so I one day was like, you know what? What if I just started to create content for the local people and the local community around here? There's so many businesses, so many mom and pop shops and brands. I bet you I can just bring some visibility to this area. And as a millennial, I just don't see this a lot. So I just started posting different reviews. Like I would go to a business. I started with this farm. There was a farm. I had drove past it so many times and I was like, man, if I don't know about this, I'm sure so many people don't know about this. Let me do a video. I went up there, did a video, quick 30 seconds, did a voiceover, just put it together in Instagram edits, which I highly recommend because Instagram pushes your content. I do believe if you use that. And I posted it over 100,000 views. They got over like 2,000 followers from my reel. They had so many new customers and things. And I was like, wow, okay, I really have something. Now, then I started to go out and people were like, you're the hidden gems girl. You and your family. Oh my God, thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for sharing these things. I didn't know about this content. So as I've been also posting other things like flower gardens and different farms and restaurants. And yesterday or 2 days ago, I posted about an auto shop that got 115,000 views and they got new customers. So just really highlighting different businesses in my area. And you're right, anybody could do this. So if you're listening, you can do this in your area. Be super hyper local and become the go to expert in your city.
I like that. And, we tell everybody to niche down, pick a specific subject to post content about. But I feel like if you're like your niche would be your city. So with that, you could go to the auto shop, you could go to the farm, you could go to the flower shop. Are you charging these people now or are you doing it out of funsies? Like, talk to us about that part.
Yeah, no, this is a good question because let's get down to the business talk of being a creator. So
Yeah.
initially, yes, right? Yes to doing it for, free and going to the places because I needed that as a case study for myself to even see if this will work. And once I started seeing the pattern, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a strategy. Like I've repeated the process, it works. And now this is a service. Like I already have a marketing agency. So this is a service that our agency offers to help local businesses get visible. If I create this reel for you, you are going to get clients and customers. It's kind of proven. I still have a disclaimer that like I don't, what am I trying to say? Like there's no guarantee, right? Because it's with Instagram. But
Yeah.
what my data has shown is that it works. And so being able to have that data, the testimonials from the current clients who I've done this for. I've also went on the news and going on a news segment has also given me also that credibility around that. And so that is also helping me with this angle, right? And so, yes, I have thought about the business side of it because I believe you can have the visibility, but what are you going to do with it? And so for me to
Right.
get all this visibility, I could have just sat here and said, oh, well, that's great. Look, I got 1 million views. But no, me and my husband were like, oh, okay, we
Yeah.
could become the experts in this area, create a newsletter, do this, do that. And so really thinking about how you can turn your life into a business. That's right. You say visibility. So get the visibility, but then also do something with it.
I love that. When you go to these places, do you already have kind of like, did you storyboard anything or script anything, or do you just play it as it is? Do you have a framework that you use? Talk to us about that.
Absolutely storyboarded. I don't know if you're listening, if you use ChatGPT, Claude, there's no debate. Whatever AI tool you use, you can leverage that to help you before you even go. Know what B-roll shots you need to get. You probably should overshoot, right? So that you have enough content. I would say shoot in video more than 5 seconds so that you can, cut what you need to cut. Know the words that you're going to put on the screen. You can ask Chat or Claude, hey, what type of viral style hook can I create in this? So that I get more views, so that I get people to talk in the comments. And then over
Oh,
time, like as I've posted, I've just seen what people have said, what they've asked questions about. And so then being able to say, okay, well, they asked a lot of questions about that. I bet you if I do that again, it'll be more engagement. So like looking at what you're doing as you're going. But yes, storyboard, have a plan because you don't want to go into this scatterbrain. I want to go in, get the content. And then if it's an experience, I want to enjoy the experience. So, I already got the clips and now I can go home, sit down, put it together, copy, paste, put it in Instagram edits and press the button.
that is one. Okay, two folds here. One, I use ChatGPT a lot to help me when I'm doing like a talking head video because I have ADHD. So like, I'll start talking about something and then I'll completely go off trip, and then I'm like, oh shoot, this video is supposed to be about this, and I started talking about this. So outlining and having something in place is definitely going to help you. And then the other part of this is something I struggle with too. My friends, if we're at an event or something, "Caitlin, do a reel about this," but, like, sometimes you're just like, "Y'all, I just wanna enjoy, like, you guys, like, I'm not working today." I was at my best friend's birthday party for her kid. She's like, "You need to document everything." I'm like, "I am here to enjoy." So, do you deal with that too?
Yeah, some things I just want to enjoy too. Like I'm not recording everything. Like I'm just very strategic, right? I think I can go to a few places a week, still post about what I like to do, still post about my business because I still do other things. I do events, I do retreats, I do, meetups, I have a community. So just being able to also live my life and not post about everything if I don't want to. Sometimes if I don't want to post on Instagram stories, I don't. Like, I don't put that pressure on myself too to be like always posting. Like, yes, be consistent, but
Yeah,
also live a life, like live your life and like do things that everybody doesn't have to see every day. So, yes, I definitely agree with you.
I love that. How many times a week are you posting, Michelle?
So I would say like 3 to 5 times a week, especially on Instagram, stories probably every day, maybe skipping a few days, but not overly a lot. Like I'm still a mom, I'm still, doing so many things. What I'm sure you do too is try to repurpose a lot of content. So if I'm doing something on my podcast, that's going to go on my email list. It's going to go, some threads. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. It's going to break off in different content so that you're not constantly like thinking about what you have to post.
Yeah.
I kind of like to think of things in 90 days at a time. Like, okay, I know this month I'm gonna be doing this challenge. I need to, these emails need to go out. We're doing this in the community this month. Kind of having a plan for like everything set up, all the events that you have going on. Just like
Yeah.
a repeatable system. I know we weren't gonna talk about systems, but systems are important. So
No,
just having that.
I like this because I think repurposing needs to be a topic we discuss and touch on for a little bit. Well, twofold again. I have two answers to this. One thing is I repurpose all the dang time. Like Michelle said, if so Michelle, I try to post twice a day. But you're reminding me I don't need to freaking do that all the time. Like I'm also a mom. I have two children, I have a husband. We're building a house right now and like I put so much pressure on myself. Thank you. But I put so much pressure on myself like, "Oh my god, I have to get my second post in today." Actually, you don't, guys. You don't have to post twice a day. So that's just me telling myself because I heard you say it. Maybe quality over quantity at the end of the day. But two, something I will do is if something performed really well, like last month, I will totally take that same, like, say it's a carousel, I'll take that same exact carousel and I'll just change out the photos. I might change the first slide hook or I might leave it as is because it worked so well the first time. But people are so pushbacky when it comes to repurposing. So I own a social media agency too. And one of the things we like to do is look back after 90 days and pick your top performers and like repost them. And one of our clients the other day kind of got upset, like, why are you reposting old stuff? We're like, no, you don't get it. Like, sometimes it will perform even better the second time around. Do you agree with me on that?
No, I agree. A lot of creators and brands repost things. I think repurposing it in a different way is totally fine because most people didn't even see it the first time. You have to be in front of people so many times. Like I had a client today say, "Oh, someone told me that posting multiple times a day, isn't good." And so just like you said, I think it depends on what season you're in. You might have a lot of events one month and you might need to post 2 times a day. Sometimes you
Oh,
might be in a season where you don't need to post 2 times a day. So it's no right or wrong way to do it. I think you should just look at your analytics and try to keep up with the visibility. Because to be honest, now that I see this million views, I'm like, well, we can't let that go down. So I want to, get some more content out there because like, I mean, that's honestly motivation. I don't think I've been in this place like I've had high views, right? But like this is a totally new space. And I'm like, I can really leverage this if I just keep going. The videos are not hard for me to do. They're easy. I have a repeatable process. I think when you get in that place, so I don't think there's no right or wrong way. And so if it's 2 times a day, one season, and 1 time a day for 5 times, 5 days a week,
yep.
that works.
I'm about to slow myself down just for me mentally, I need to slow my booty down. You know what else I'll suggest too is if you had the one that, what did you say was at a million views or it's getting up there?
Yeah, well, one of them I have is like at 400 something thousand views, but a million views like overall for like the last 28 days.
Okay. Oh my god. So, congratulations.
Thank
One
you.
thing I tell my clients, if there is a particular video that went off and you don't want to wait 30 days to repost it, you could always do a part 2 also. on the same topic, which with you being the local girly that's popping up at all these places, have you done more than one video for these places yet? Or are you trying to do one? Yeah, talk to me about that.
No, but I was just thinking about that today. Like, I visited this coffee shop, and so people were asking about the coffee, and I actually have the coffee, like, right here, and so I went today. So I can do a part 2 about that and say, "You all asked about the coffee. It's XYZ." But you know what I've been running into with just the businesses is that we can bring the people with the content, but it's up to the business too to be able to, number 1, be able to take in that volume of people, have the customer journey and flow and a marketing plan after, because now that they see you and all these people followed you, it's a good idea to have consistent content, not every day, but maybe a few times a week in the stories, so that now you're always coming up in their feeds and that they remember you, because people just follow stuff and they forget. And if you're not posting consistently, you're not going to come up in the algorithm because they didn't see your stuff.
Right.
So you have to post at least, I would say, 3, we could do 3 times a week, right? If we really wanna be, but I would say post every day,
Yeah.
something.
I like post yeah, I would suggest posting daily, but we at least do 3 posts a week for our clients. And sometimes people are like, "Well, what should I be posting?" It's like, you visiting that coffee shop one time could one your first video could be like a day in the life, come along with me as I get my first coffee and visit for the first time. And then maybe the second time is like, what exactly am I ordering? And then what do you think a third one could be?
Like, I'm thinking about too, talking to the owner, because I had a
Ooh.
video that went viral and brought them people, and now interviewing them, telling their story, how things been going, and that's even more visibility for them. So even fun things like that, or having an event, like bringing people in and like partnering with them in that way. So things like that, I think you can leverage the visibility and the relationship working with these businesses.
I love this. You've also inspired me because my husband is a local realtor here. He turns white when I make him do video. My team has been working with him. Shout out to Abby because she can get him to do some fun stuff. But I'm like, maybe I could walk him around these places and just talk to him and make, I don't know, almost like it make it be a conversation, but still record him. Do you have tips for people that like they know they need visibility, but they're terrified to show up?
Yeah, and I've seen realtors do this. They are also local experts in the area, sharing all the things around, which in turn helps bring visibility to them to sell the houses that they're trying to sell.
Right?
To combat that, it's so many reasons why people may have resistance to posting, or they may feel like they're showing too much of themselves online. I just want to say, like, it should feel like documenting your life, not like performing. I think the reason why my videos are doing so good is because it's just a part of my everyday life. Like, I needed my car fixed, and so I actually found this place that was literally around the corner from me. I would go to a farm. I would go to a flower shop. I would go on date night with my husband. So, like, those are
Yes.
things that I would do, and I just like to create content. I've been doing it. I know some people think it's weird, but this is a job. Like, putting together a video that you have to think about that gets all these views, I think that's a skill set. It's not, I don't think going viral, yes, some people may be a fluke, but to do it again and again and again repeatedly, especially over 100,000, that's like, people don't get that in a month, right? And so I think that's a skill. So I think, when we think about just getting in front of the camera, knowing that, hey, this is going to reach some people, and it could, A, somebody could see a house that I'm trying to sell. B, get on my email list, something, become a client. It's an opportunity just to get in front of people. And so think about documenting our life rather than performing, because we're not really performing. We're just sharing our everyday life and seeing, hey, this might be helpful to someone else.
I love that. Is there like a framework that you have when it comes to documenting? Because I think that is the most easiest way to go into it without putting pressure on yourself. Like, document your 10 seconds walking in, 10 seconds showing what you're doing. Like, how do you walk us through one of your best performing videos and what it looks like? Talk to us about the hooks, all the things.
Yes. So I typically look at what I'm doing in my everyday life. I look at my calendar and say, oh, okay, we got invited to an event. So I'll use that as an example. I got invited to grand reopening of a hotel. They did some updates on their rooms. And so we got invited. And I was like, okay, I could do a video about that. So I thought about what the video could be. Of course, use chat, had all of that set out before I went, right? And so then I'm able to go in there, get the content, and enjoy my time, talk to,
Yeah.
the people I need to talk to. You got your PR reps, make sure you talk to your contacts and build relationships with them. And then
Yeah.
enjoy the time with your husband, your spouse. We had date night. We went to go get, something for dinner and, went about my day. But I'm very strategic in how like the SEO, because as you know, Instagram is an SEO platform. So what is going to be in the copy? How am I going to then, what am I going to make people comment so that they didn't comment something so they can get on my email list or whatever? I'm thinking about all those things. So the hooks, I know you said that too, are really important too because people have short attention spans. So you have to keep them hooked on the video. Most
Yeah.
of my videos have been no longer than 35 seconds and they've all been over
Wow.
10,000. So
Before you go further, 35 seconds, tell us about those first 10 seconds. How do you come up with your first shot, Michelle?
So the first shot is interesting. So I've been using like my family in the first shot. So like my husband, so we did this like we went to this exercise stairs cliff in our area. And so I use him as like the, preview to the video. Then I may shoot to myself. Then I may shoot to something else. So the clip
Okay.
should be like 1 to 2 seconds. You could have words over them. It's just depending on how you want the flow to go. And then think about your voiceover. I've used voiceovers. They tend to work very well for me. If you're like a low lift person, you're like, I don't feel like talking to the camera. Do a
Yeah.
voiceover. People have really enjoyed them. But I think you also should probably have like some media train, like know how to tell stories and like your cadence matters, how you say it matters, all of that matters in the videos. I do believe that. But the hook, I typically always say, "Okay." So it's like people know that that's my video, even if they didn't see it. If
Ooh.
they heard it, they know that it's my video because they know that that's how I open each and every video that's been viral. Maybe a few of them I didn't, but they were still viral. So having something that's really distinct to you, because I think in this age with all the copying going on, having
Yeah.
something distinct to
A
you.
signature opener.
Yeah, a signature opener, and then
Um,
something that's gonna catch the hook, like, "I bet you didn't hear about this," or, "You didn't know that this was here," or something, be like, "Well, what was there?" Making them question and watch the video longer.
ooh.
Then, of course, telling about it in a story format, having an ending, and then telling them to do something so that they engage and or go somewhere, I think is important. So that's how I'm thinking about and the typical framework that I use, when putting together a video like that.
You make a very important point. Like, most people will just try to go and maybe do like a whole they'll go in there, they'll pan the whole room for a minute, and then, they'll just get these weird clips and try to put it all together, post it, and be like, my video didn't perform. Guys, there is a serious art to it. There really is. And as Michelle said, I do think like maybe even there are so many free trainings out there. Get a free storytelling training so that you know that you need to have some kind of curiosity driven hook that opens them up. Maybe there's a story arc in there and then there's a conclusion, but the people that just like wing it and then they get mad that their video didn't perform, me and Michelle are taking the time to literally storyboard what we're going to do. Michelle, I'm in there asking ChatGPT to change my hookup 5 different times because it's not good enough for me. Like, we are doing the work over here. You can't just and now, don't get me wrong. There will be people on there too that post something and it goes viral. That's cool, but you can't keep that going. If you wanna build a sustainable business utilizing your content talent, you've gotta have some kind of, like, framework or something in place.
Yes, absolutely. Please don't wing it. We are not winging it. So this is the secret. I'm not winging it. I am planning this all out.
Do you go and look at, like, before you go to the farm, do you go look at other farm videos or do you yeah, tell us about that. Do you do research like competitive research or what kind of research are you doing?
Yeah, my husband, does a lot of research just on
No.
the area. Yeah, we work together, so I love this. So, on the area, but yeah, I look at other people's TikTok and Instagram videos so that I can have a feel of, like, where the spots are, like, what are the Instagrammable places, like, how does the place look so that I'm not, like, spending time trying to figure it out before I get there. So, again, so I can actually enjoy it, but also film it and have everything that I need and say, "Okay, well, I can put my phone away, and now I can have a good time at this place."
I love that. You're teaching me, girl, to enjoy my time when I'm doing it. What about fonts? Do you have a favorite font that you use? Do you feel I'm a girly that's like, get the most basic font so that they can easily read it, but how do you feel about that?
I'm so basic, girl. I use the classic, and I just be using the white. That's it. The
Me
classic with
too.
the background, that's it. So, it
Okay.
works.
Same here, and that's one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they'll try to use, like, a bright yellow or a bright green or a bright blue, and it's like, if that's gonna be hard on people's eyes, guess what? They're gonna keep scrolling, so I tell everyone, I'm like, "Keep it basic, do the classic, black or white, and you're good to go." Do you think it's important music? Do you add music? Like, what are some give us some important pieces of a video, like, if someone was new and they're like, "All right, Michelle encouraged me. I'm gonna go to this restaurant today and have lunch, and I'm gonna record a video." What are like 3 important things that they need to pay attention to when they go to edit that video?
Yes, you talked about music. I agree with instrumentals. There are a lot of great instrumentals that are trending, and so use the instrumentals. I agree. Um The second thing I would say is to really think about what the cover image is going to be and, like, what you're gonna have on there that's gonna grab that attention because that's the first thing that they're gonna see too. So not only the hook of you speaking, but the hook of what's going to be on the screen. So the music, yes, and you can do I mean, one thing that you might notice is that Instagram now will recommend something to you, and it recommends some good choices, right? So just think about that. And then if you do a voiceover and you do have music, make sure that the music is low enough so that they can actually hear your voice, but also hear the music in the background. I
Oh,
think those are three things when you think about going to edit. And then again, one more thing is just the length of the clips, right? 1 to 2 seconds tends to do good. Don't stay super long on a portion because, again, people's attention spans are really short.
yeah, I remember do you remember back when, like, Reels first came out, how transitions were a thing? Like, so in case y'all are new here, back in, like, 2021, like, if you wanted to go viral, you would do, like, crazy transitions, like clapping, and then it's you in a different area or something. Now, I feel like if you just make sure you're cutting your clips to, like Michelle said, like 2 seconds at a time and not just panning for, like, a full 30 seconds on the same video, I think you can keep attention longer that way as well. Michelle, is there a certain analytics that you look at to see if your video performed well?
Yes, and I love Instagram edits because in there you can press the little button. It will tell you everything you need to know about your analytics. And I'm gonna open it up because I do look at a lot of things. I do look at views, okay. And so for me, in the last like 30 days, I've had some decent views, but then like I look at the comments. I think when something engages really good, then I know, like, okay, I could redo something like that, but maybe it's a different type of video in that same category.
Yeah.
And another thing that I've noticed is face I want to talk about Facebook pages for a minute and their
Oh,
analytics because
okay.
my Facebook page blew up. Okay. It
Oh,
was dead. But now since I started geotagging, I've come up in more people's feeds, and so my Facebook page has grown. And so what I've noticed on there is that when you start to post reels, their AI tool, now you know Meta wants you to use all their AI tools, so you better be paying attention. It will
yes.
tell you the content that did good and what you need to do to continue to make more content like that, and it will give you ideas for that. So,
Oh,
like on your dashboard, it's called the Creator Assistant. And it
okay.
says, okay, like yesterday or 2 days ago, I did a mechanic shop video. It says that my reach is skewing heavily toward new audiences this week, with the vast majority of your views coming from non-followers. Your mechanic shop video is currently your top performer, drawing significant interest from the local community. Create a follow-up post highlighting another local service business. So it's giving me tips on what to do. And then I could press a button and say, why non-followers? Why this? Ideas for my next post, and it'll give me that content.
Wow. And also, I'm very surprised that, like, an automotive place is performing well, right? Because you would think that's boring, mundane, but it's probably helpful and valuable for people, and that's why it's getting traction. Yep.
Yeah, no, and I think it's very relatable. I have a older car, it's 12 years old, and you want a reliable mechanic, and the people in my area, I feel like they're looking for something like this. And so it's like a really small town. We're small town people out here. It's farms and things like that. And so they're looking for stuff like this. And so yeah, I think it's just really relatable, and so it just worked. I am so with you. I was like, wow, an automotive video is really doing well. It's the craziest thing. It's really cool to see though.
I love that. Can we talk about monetization? Are you making money with your videos?
Yes, and so this is something that I've been thinking more into. So don't think I'm not making thousands, y'all, yet. Okay. But I am averaging like $150 a month, like with Facebook. Okay. And so when you post more, you get more views, right? And so you can increase that. But yes, making money in the way, not directly like, from views. Yes, I mean $150, that's great. But
Yep.
like we talked about earlier, working with the different businesses as a service, right? So thinking about the different ways you can leverage monetization. Also, I'm going to start posting affiliate links. Affiliate links work really well on Facebook. And so that's another way to monetize. So you should think about all the different ways that you can monetize outside of just the video alone, right? The video alone is great. Yes, you can monetize from views, but can you monetize from brand deals? Can you monetize from email list growth? Can you monetize from ads? Like so many different ways to just think about how one video you can monetize all those ways.
I love that. I think that you need to start charging to go visit those all these local businesses that you're
Oh, I
doing.
am, girl.
Oh,
I
okay.
have a plan. There's a
Okay.
plan, Caitlin. There's a plan.
Okay.
We're on to phase 2 of that. Yes, ma'am.
Especially, like, with you being so close to Chicago, oh my god. With the I okay, so, like, I'm in a really small town, so, like, the budgets here, if I go to local businesses, like, they're not gonna be able to spend a whole lot of money, and that's okay. But I feel like if I were to go to, like, Tampa, that's a little bit further from me, Tampa, Florida, they would probably have bigger budgets, and I'd be like, "Hey, here's all my videos that I've done lately, for free for these locals. Now pay me the big bucks to support your video." You know what I mean? I love that. Do you do any UGC?
Yeah, I've done UGC. I think that's great. I think it's, a way to work with brands and you may not necessarily post on your page, but I think when you get to a place when your visibility and your social media is like real estate, you can leverage that. And so that is what I am thinking about right now. So if you want me to collaborate with you on this post and talk
Yeah.
about your business on my page, who is now a trusted resource by all of these people, like the auto shop got 500 plus new followers. That is unheard of for people to trust somebody to follow you. So the farm
Wow.
got 2,000 followers. So they have not only been viewing, they've been following and going to the place.
Oh my
So
god.
that's valuable, right? So yes,
That's
absolutely.
huge. And for anyone listening, UGC is user generated content. So that typically would mean like Michelle's making a video and then giving it to that brand for them to post. But as Michelle said, like when you start having a bigger following or you're getting views on your own real estate, then that's when you can really make the big bucks too because your visibility, like she said, it's real estate. So like for me, I've had some really cool partnerships this year. When I partnered with Adobe, they're really good. They have big budgets, Michelle, by the way, so you need to get in with them. But me posting about their apps, that was one of my biggest collabs that I've got to do because they're getting on my page. For someone out there that they like social media, but you're also talking about other ways to become visible. What is like your number 2 way to become visible besides social media that you like doing?
Ooh. Okay. Email, because it is definitely a really great place. Everybody should have an email list. But you know what? Events. I really love events. I do a free event with my local library every month, which increases my visibility
Oh,
in the area. Yeah, and it's about
Ooh.
personal branding. I bring in a guest expert, and so it's for the community. And then I've been doing a curated dinner for women entrepreneurs that's paid, and it's curated for 12 women. And so my events have really been a great way for visibility and just to, get in connection and build relationships with different content creators and entrepreneurs in the area.
So I'm doing a baddie challenge right now, which is to help women like get more visible online. So like I'm making them post stuff or like send a DM or something like that. But one thing I want to do at the end of it is have a dinner for all of my local girlies that signed up for the challenge. So talk to me about that. Do you charge, and we're getting so transparent with you guys right now. Do you charge just to cover expenses, or do you try to make a little bit money off of that too for your time? Can you walk me through that? Because I think there's a lot of women that don't realize how powerful these curated dinners actually can be for your visibility.
Yeah, your visibility and your business. So I am charging for my time. I'm not hitting people over the head. My dinners are $125, to be honest. I've seen people
Right.
charge $300+ for their dinners. Okay, I am in a small town. I'm not
Okay.
trying to make like thousands and thousands off this. There
Right.
are food costs, decorations, gifts, all the things. I really do want. It is a curated experience. I actually have an application process where you have to apply to be
Oh,
a part of the dinner. And so I am choosing who is a part of this. And so it's not just thrown together. I do curate it in the connections that are created at the event.
mhm,
And so I think too, it's just great to build connection with other women because someone could come to this dinner and meet someone and have a potential client that's $7,000. I mean, that's the
right.
real ROI is the relationships. And so I just think if you're someone who is a community builder, an intimate dinner or some type of event is a great way for you to build, but also, I mean, if you if you make $1,000, I mean, to me, oh my God, that's great. I mean, I have so many different income streams. I think that's where we run into it's like, you need to charge this much for this thing. But what if it's like, I really want to help people and create something affordable where I know that this would benefit them and that they would invite more people. And I could just do this monthly and do all the other things that create revenue for me in my business. So that's how I like to think about things. At the end of the day, I just want to help people in my local area. And if I can bring together women and someone come to my dinner and meet their dream client or dream collaborator, that's the ROI, and then I've done, like, the thing that I'm put here to do because it's about more to me than just the money, and so I
Well,
believe that, yes, you wanna, charge for your time and also, make sure you cover the expense of the venue and all the things, but
yeah.
maybe you can collaborate with the venue, create a partnership. There's different ways to build upon that, and so I'm being resourceful in what I'm doing to make it work for, like, the bigger vision that I have.
I love that. What is the name of your dinners called? Are they all different or is it one name?
Yeah, so it's the connected and paid dinners, and so I had Summer in the South Suburbs series, so we're doing our last series in August, and then I'm gonna do a fall, winter, and I'm gonna keep it moving. It's been doing really great, and so I'm just gonna keep going with this. It's 12 women, it's sold out each time, and I've had, a few repeat people and just different people, and so I'm gonna, keep it going, but yeah, the connected and paid series, the dinner series here in
I love
Chicago.
that. Can you walk us through what, like, a typical dinner looks like? Like, what do you guys do?
Yeah, so there's connections. I curate the connections. I have different people sit by different people. And, this is, and again, I think the things that we're sharing here, you can take this and don't feel like you're stealing anybody's idea. Like, there's so many different ways to do events. And if you feel like, wow, I could really do something like that in my town, please do it. Because I guarantee you weren't the first person to do it. Okay. But just make sure the name is different. It's your vibe. Like, this is my vibe. Okay. So it's like the Michelle vibe on
Yeah,
everything. And so we have curated connections, music going, all the things. And then, like, I do prompts. Like, I want people to connect. Let's not be in our phones. Like, yes, I
yeah,
get content of the event to promote it, but like, we don't have our phones up and I'm not like filming all this stuff. Like, we're actually
right.
connecting. So just have, of course, decor. I mean, you can go to the dollar store to get some decor. Like, who really cares, right? Make sure it just looks good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the people are going to have a great experience at the end of the day. But just think about the people when you're building an event like that. And so we have connection. I have a good meal. I say a few words, of course, about visibility, how to grow your brand, make sure the women stay connected with one another. women have shared really vulnerable things at my events, and just it's been amazing to see and just the connections. And I just have a repeatable process, like how I promote it. I have like a wait list. I go through that wait list, select the people who said they were interested, and just continue to build upon there, create content to share about the next one, and just I try not to overdo it. I try to do a lot of things behind the scenes in my email list to share with the local people that have already, joined my email list and that have been a part. And so I started this in June, and so it's been going pretty good. So I'm still fresh with this dinner, but I've seen a lot of other people do it, and I said I could do something like that in my area, and that's what I did. So I'm giving you permission because I know this holds so many people back. I'm giving you permission to do it. Create the dinner, create the event. Like, just put your spin on it and do it in your area. Like I said, I'm super hyper local to my area, and I'm just giving the people in my community something that I think is pretty cool and that they could be a part of.
I love that so much. I wanna do it so bad. So I love that. To wrap us up, I wanna talk to you about the creator economy before I get into these fun rapid fire questions. I know that you've watched the creator economy evolve. Like, if from when we started to now, it's evolved so much. Is there a trend that you are excited about that you like, or is there one that you, like, hate it so much you just wish it would die and disappear?
Um, I love podcasts. I think everybody should have a podcast. Me and you are podcasters. I think that's if you want longevity in your
Mhm.
business, you can have a podcast and reach so many people. You have no idea who's listening, who could refer you to the next person, be your next opportunity. Yeah, it's a great connection tool to meet so many amazing people. I think that if it's a trend, I guess, podcasting. Um, I don't know. I think some trends, though, we shouldn't jump on. We should evaluate what you should actually do. Like when it comes to these videos with Instagram, like, does it fit your business or does it not? Like sometimes you just might want to say
Skip
no,
it.
but you do want to be in tune with what is going on for sure.
I love that, and I agree with you on the podcast. I never knew how many connections I would make with the podcast, especially, like, I was I've been a solo podcast for the first 2 years, so, like, this year is when I'm like, "Okay, I wanna bring people on," and, like, making connections. Talking to you is filling my cup up so much because I don't get to, like, geek out with people over social media, so I'm like, I love that's why I'm asking you all these questions because I don't get to ask people these questions. I had one lady, though, in the baddie challenge right now. This is the second time she's told me she wants to start a podcast, and I'm always like, "All right, Dawn, I'm gonna call you out. Dawn, here's what you need to do. You just need to pick a name and record the first episode." Like, I know podcasting isn't easy because it's not. But if we dumb it down, Michelle, what did you have to do to start your podcast?
Yeah, I think really we need a hosting platform, okay? Riverside, which we both are with Riverside. They have hosting for you all on this one platform. So you don't even need to go anywhere else, right? You can just get Riverside, get with chat and say chat or Claude, Gemini, whoever.
Yeah.
This is the type of podcast I want to create. Give me some ideas.
Oh,
First episode should be what? It can give you 5 episodes. Use a script or a guide. There is no shame to using that. It's going to keep you succinct. It's going to keep you on track. It's going to keep you sounding professional. And then you're going to get a microphone from Amazon, and it's going to be a $15 one. You don't even have to get a $100 microphone.
yes,
Start with the $15 one.
yes.
And then you're going to just press the button and record. From your script, you're going to read. They have teleprompters on Riverside as well. And then you're going to press the end button. Riverside, they have a button called Magic Audio. Make it sound all great. You don't even need a team. And
I
then
love
you
that,
can
by the way.
also, isn't it good? You
Oh
can
my
cross out words,
guys,
cross out the mistakes,
so
and
good.
keep going. And
Keep
then you're going to
going.
press the button and upload it. And then you're going to say, wow, I started a podcast. And it is that easy.
That I'm literally gonna send this to Dawn, and she's gonna be like, "Thank you, Michelle," because it really is that easy, but I think the hardest part is just to keep going because there are gonna be days where you don't feel like recording, like, today, I woke up depressy, and I was outside like, "Oh, poor beautiful me," but I'm like, "I gotta get my shit together because I got a podcast episode to record today." But then I get with you and, like, you light my inner fire again because we start talking about things we wanna talk about, but yeah, you just have to do it and keep going, and I think that's with anything anything with visibility, social media, email marketing, you just have to do that first rep and then you just keep going after that and it grows and it compounds. Like, look where you are at now, Michelle. You've started. Tell us all the things that you've done since you've started. You've got an agency. Tell us all the things.
Speaking, podcasting, agency, community, membership program, events. I do a conference. Like there's so many things. Wrote a book. There's so many things. There's so many things you can do.
So many things. I love that. Okay, let's get into the rapid fire because this is always fun.
Okay.
And then we're gonna talk about Michelle's got a 7-day visibility challenge, so we'll talk about that too. Instagram or podcasting?
Oh, this is hard.
I know.
Podcasting.
Oh, okay. I mean, you do have a top 1% podcast, so that makes more sense. One creator that everyone should follow. Is there someone you really like right now that you're following online?
Ooh, this is hard. I follow a lot of great people. You know what? I really like Jessie Jean. Like, I think that she did a great job with that challenge, and we should be inspired to make millions just like that. And so I think Jessie Jean did a really great job. I mean, I'm a millennial too, so I mean, I'm with her. Man, that was pretty cool. I use the friend archetype too, girl. So I get it.
Ooh, I love that. Just so you guys know, if you've been living under a rock, Jessie Jean did what was it, like 1.2 million her first launch?
Yeah, it was something crazy like that.
In a few days, guys. That's gonna be me and Michelle. We're speaking it into
Yes, I see
existence.
what you do for other people. Yes, it can be done.
Do you have a favorite business book?
Ooh, Atomic Habits, and I got to meet James Clear and give him my book, and it was really cool.
Shut up. Where were you?
At Kit Craft and Commerce, it was so cool.
Oh my god, amazing.
If you haven't
Congratulations.
been to that, Caitlin, you gotta go next year.
No, I will. We'll get together because I think I could go to some of these things with you and then I'd have a friend with me.
Yes.
Um, what's something you're currently learning?
Ooh, something I'm currently learning is to let go. To be honest, with this kind of visibility, there's comments and people, and I'm just like, "You know what? I can't control that."
So something I say is LIG, let it go. So when my husband's in a bad mood, I'll be like, LIG that shit. Just let it go. So it's a joke now, but LIG. Okay, and then lastly, if you could sit down with a creator who's feeling stuck right now, or maybe they're just overwhelmed or they think it's too late to start something, what's one piece of advice you'd want them to hear today?
Oh, this is good. One thing when I went to this craft and commerce, is that I talked to Jay Papasan. He wrote this book called The One Thing. And he said, like, if you're doing something that's not working for you, like you gotta do it different. And that really woke me up because I had been stuck on Instagram and stuck in my business. And once I said, let me just try something different. That's when I went viral. That's when all this opened up for me. So this has been just in the last 90 days as I'm talking to you. So I'm in this messy middle. So if anybody is feeling like, wow, this isn't working, just try something different and be okay to like fail and be okay to do it afraid because most people aren't going to even do it. Most
Oh,
people are not gonna even do it. So you're way ahead of most people, and so coming from somebody who's when I say I'm in the thick of it, I'm trying to figure it out, trying to make sure I'm capitalizing, trying to make sure, like, everything is good so that, like, I don't let this momentum die. So, it's not too late to start over. If you're 40 plus, I turned 40 this year, it's not too late for you. You got
you look
lived
good.
experience. If you're a mom, you're just more than a mom. You can run your business and be a mom, a bad mama jama at that, and just keep going because again, most people are gonna stop. So as long as you're consistent, you'll always be ahead of everybody else.
Oh, I love that so much. Michelle, tell us about your 7-day visibility challenge and how they can find you. We also need to know about your podcast. Tell us all the things.
Yes, and Caitlin will be on my podcast, so you have to check it out too. So the 7-day visibility challenge is simple. I'm going to send you an audio every day about something that you can do. And you're going to take action and you're going to do it. And you're going to see an increase in your visibility delivered straight to your inbox. So that's at michellethames.com. And I'm sure they'll have the information for you. You can follow me on Instagram at Michelle L. Thames. And my podcast is called Social Media Decoded. I just love talking social media, as you can see and hear here, right? that I just love talking social media. I like to break it down in easy terms, have good conversations with guests, and just help you understand social media better so that you can grow your business and get more clients. And that is it. I really just want to help you just, show up in the most authentic way, and you don't have to perform to do that.
I love that so much. Michelle, thank you so much. I really enjoyed getting to know you and your story, and you've encouraged me. I'm going to go make my husband do the local spotlight. Like, we're just going to go do it. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. This was great.
Yay.